Sophie Rhys-Jones met Prince Edward at a real tennis match at Hampton Court. Sophie was working in publicity, and the girl that was meant to play tennis didn't turn up, so Sophie stood in, and that's how she met Prince Edward.
Well, I was a bit nervous, not least of which I was going to have to start changing my clothes on the court in front of him. Having met him before, I didn't know how he was going to react.
I then very diplomatically went off and practiced a few shots in the corner of the court.
Unusually for the royal family, who traditionally had military careers, Prince Edward worked in show business.
I sort of enjoy being sort of behind the scenes. I enjoy sort of putting things together. But every now and then I do get involved in a production. And that just reminds me of what it's like to be on the board.
The couple announced their engagement in January 1999.
I was slightly stunned for a minute, and then I suddenly realised I should actually answer the question, so then I said yes. I said yes, please.
Sophie was older than the average bride, but then she and Edward had been going out together for 6 years before they got married. And that reason was partly because the Queen was so anxious that the marriage to be a success. She wanted to make sure that Sophie really knew what she was doing.
If anybody's going to get married, I hope that they think that they're going to get it right. So, and as I said, I mean, it's, you know, that we're the very best of friends, and that's essential, and it also helps that we happen to love each other as well very much, and so, you know, it's great.
Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones were married on the 19th of June 1999. The quiet ceremony at St George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, was a remarkable departure from the familiar spectacle of a lavish London wedding. Another change was Prince Edward's choice of dress. designer Samantha Shaw to make her wedding dress.
Went up to St George's Chapel and got a feeling of the space of the aisle, very subtle stone that's used there, and I thought the colour would be important. So for the organza that we used for the coat, we dyed it to tone in with the stone, and also the silk crepe underneath, so it all matched. And even the little pearls were dyed so that they didn't jar with the fabric.
The low-key approach to the wedding between Prince Edward and Sophie Rhys-Jones shows the adaptability of the royal family.
The reason that the Windsor dynasty has survived where other royal families around Europe were unable to survive is that it has an amazing ability to change when change is needed.
A dramatic sign of this change is the fact that in April 2005, Prince Charles was finally given permission to marry a divorcee after weeks of constitutional negotiation.
How are you feeling, ma'am?
The Prince of Wales' second wedding day could not have been more different than the first. Much more down-key. The people of Windsor, of course, turned out in great numbers.
We really think that Camilla's had an awful lot of bad press, and whatever it is, it's the woman he loves, and we're all thrilled about it.
The wedding had two ceremonies, which gave Camilla the chance to have two outfits.
Her designers were Robson Valentine, but of course they had the task of not just one but two dresses. First of all, the civil wedding was at Windsor Town Hall with the registry office, and Camilla arrived in this off-white basket weave kind of wool coat, underneath a very pretty silk with Swiss embroidery on it, and the most divine Philip Treacy hat with feathers and bits and pieces. Then, of course, the second outfit, we move on to the blessing at St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. And for that, she had a very soft, pale blue crepe dress, and over it, a pale blue and gold brocade coat.
The wedding of Charles and Camilla has brought some calm to a turbulent 60 years of marriage and divorce for the royal family. The force that has remained constant throughout this time is the presence of the Queen.
I think that it's very true that in times of crisis and problems and trouble for this country, the Queen has been seen as a secret weapon, in that the stability that we have in this nation, having a single monarch on the throne for coming up to 60 years. In 2016, the Queen will actually beat Queen Victoria's record on the throne.
When I was 21, I pledged my life to the service of our people. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service. Although that vow was made in my salad days when I was green in judgment, I do not regret nor retract one word of it.
The sense of duty and the sense of honour that Her Majesty the Queen projects is something that has a higher purpose, something that shows a better side to us, something that is a reflection of our better selves.
An enduring royal partnership is a perfect example of the Queen's inspiration and leadership. She has been married for over 60 years, and Britain is looking forwards and hoping for another successful royal couple.
Again and again in history, the sense of the country has been given an enormous fillip by having the whole world watch as we go through this ancient but also brilliantly modern ritual of bringing two people together, and so the national heart, hopefully, will rise at the time of Kate Middleton's wedding to Prince William.
Kate Middleton is an unlikely princess. She's not an aristocrat and comes from a traditional middle-class family.
I think Kate and William, although obviously they come from different echelons of the social ladder, I think that they have an extraordinary amount in common. Not only did they grow up in the same county and go to neighbouring public schools and the same university, studying history of art together before William changed to geography.
Prince William started at St Andrews University in 2001. The following April, he paid £200 for a front row seat at a charity fashion show.
William's eyes were out on stalks when he saw Kate walking down the catwalk that summer in a sheer black dress revealing her lingerie.
William and Kate shared accommodation for the rest of their time at university. By 2003, it was clear they were an item. The pressure on the couple to make their relationship official grew as Kate increasingly joined in family activities. She was at William's graduation ceremony from the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Then suddenly in 2007, they announced that they were to split up.
Good afternoon. She was the young woman many said would be queen, but no longer. Prince William and his girlfriend Kate Middleton have split up. ITV News can reveal it was a mutual decision, and although they've broken up before, this time it is fine.
The separation didn't stop Kate enjoying herself, and she carried on visiting their favourite nightclub, Bougie's.
I think when William and Kate broke up, one of the things that came across very loud and clear is that it was a breakup that was done to figure out where people stood. It didn't feel frivolous. It felt very well thought out from both sides.
I think it's impossible to know really why Kate and William split. Obviously, only they know, and it was for a very short time, only 10 weeks.
I think it's quite good that Kate and William have had a somewhat volatile relationship. If there had been no splits between the couple, it
that time of their relationship that's spanned many years, it would say that really, you know, that it was all too organised. There's not enough passion there.
The relationship feels very different now.
One of the things that seems to come across with these two is that they're good friends. I think when you're good friends, that's sort of half the battle won.
William has gone on to train as an RAF pilot on attachment from his army regiment. Kate was watching when he was awarded his wings by his father.
They've actually got a place they share, if you like, as a modern marital home in North Wales. We can't give specifics because of security reasons, but William has decided to rent a cottage for the next 3 or 4 years. That way he can continue his RAF career up in Anglesey, where his base is, but also live as man and wife with Kate Middleton.
I think William has had a lot of experience. He's had the shock of what happened to his mother, and he's taken that on board. And I think the two of them will bring the royal family back into the limelight where it should be, where they follow principles rather than own personal pleasures.
Advanced training as a Sea King helicopter pilot means that William is visibly putting himself into the service of the country, just as his grandmother, the Queen, pledged she would do over 60 years ago. Flying on dangerous search and rescue missions is challenging work, but the future holds even more of a challenge. One day he will be king, and hopefully Kate will be at his side.
The wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton is incredibly important. He is the future of the monarchy. She will be a queen, and therefore it has to be right. The relationship has to be right. The wedding has to be right. And that is our future, the future of the monarchy.
chef